Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to learn the heme synthesis and we are going to see some mnemonics to remember it on our tips. So without wasting time, let's get started with the video. So first of all, we have to see that where this cycle or this process occurs. So the site of the heme synthesis. The heme synthesis occurs in the erythropoietic stem cells. And it partially occurs in the mitochondria and partially in the cytosol, which we will see in the figure I will draw, right? So for this process to remember, you have to learn a trick, that is Susie go to doctor to prepare for the house job. For the partial cycle, it is more than enough to remember. So here in this side, I am writing the trick, and on the right side, I am writing the steps. And we'll also discuss the diseases caused by the deficiency of the enzymes which are playing role in the heme synthesis, right? So first I told you that Susie go to doctor. So here I am writing number 1 step, that is Susie go, right? So here we are gonna see that Susie and go. Then Susie, for the word Susie, it's succinyl coenzyme A. So succinyl coenzyme A. And for go, it is glycine plus glycine, right? The next one is to doctor. Now here the 2 is not TO, it is 2, the mathematical 2. So for the second one, it is to doctor, right? Now the 2 means that the 2 molecules of delta amino alvulanic acid, which is also called ALA. So here I am writing that 2 molecules of delta ALA, right? Now for the third step, the trick was Susie go to doctor to prepare for house job. So here I am writing 2 here because it is unimportant. Prepare for house job. Right? So for the prepare, it is porphoblinogen, and which is also a monopyrrole ring. So here it is porphoblinogen, which is a monopyrrole. So here I am writing it's a monopyrrole. Sorry guys. right? So for the house job, it's hydroxymethyl methobiline. It is same like blind is the common in both of these. So here I am writing hydroxymethyl blind, right? Hydroxymethyl blind is a tetrapyrrole ring. So the four pyrroles are joined to each other with the methylene bridge. So here it is linear tetrapyrrole structure, right? Here it is its structure. Here are four pyrrole, right? They are linked by the methylene bridge, right? This is why it is a tetrapyrrole structure. Now for the next step, the trick is undercover she protected people and her respect, right? So undercover, here I am writing under cover, like without showing. Undercover means without showing anyone. Undercover she protected people and her respect, right? Now coming upon the main thing here. So the next was under. For the under, it is porphyrinogen. Europorphyrinogen, right? Europorphyrinogen 3. So it is 3. Europorphyrinogen 3. And for cover, it is copropyrifrinogen 3. Right? The next step is, the next one is protected. For the P, it is protopyrifrinogen. Protopyrifrinogen, right? Now the protopyrifrinogen, the next one was protected people. The for the next P, it is protopyrifrin. Protoporphyrin, right? Last is H, because it's heme synthesis, so the last step would be the heme. It is an understood thing, so here it is heme, right? So here we have completed the steps. Now we'll see its enzymes and how they are converted into one another. So here I am writing the enzyme names. The first step was, I'll give a quick revision to it, so that while moving on it we can get that easily. The trick was, Susie go to doctor to prepare for house job. Undercover she protected people and her respect, right? For the now the steps are, succinyl coenzyme A reacted with glycine to form 2 delta alanine, 2 delta ALA, right? Then it converted into porphyrinogen, which is a monopyrrole ring, and then it converted into hydroxymethyl blind, which is a linear tetrapyrrole structure, its structure is something like this, and the bridges shown here are the methylene bridges, which convert into uroporphyrinogen, and which convert into the copropyrifrinogen, and then it converts into protopyrifrinogen, and then protopyrifrin, and in the last it's our heme. Now coming upon the enzymes. The succinyl coenzyme A and the glycine react to form the 2-delta ALA in the presence of an enzyme named ALA synthase. Because what is forming here? ALA is forming here, so the enzyme would be ALA synthase. It's so easy. It's ALA synthase. The enzymes are easy to learn if you know the first reaction upward it and the second reaction beneath it. So the ALA synthase is doing what? The formation of the synthesis of the ALA. The next step is the conversion of 2-delta ALA into the porphyrobilinogen, right? So here the enzyme is ALA dehydratase. ALA dehydratase. Now as we know that hydra word means water. So dehydratase means removal of water. So what would be happening here? Here must a water molecule would be leaving here, and so here the water molecule is minus, right? This enzyme removes water molecule to convert 2-delta ALA into porphyrobilinogen, right? The next step is the conversion of porphyrobilinogen, a monopyrrole, into a linear tetrapyrrole ring. So here the enzyme used is porphyrobilinogen deaminase, right? Deaminase, and here two enzymes are used. The second enzyme is uropyrifrinogen 1 synthetase. Uropyrinogen 1 synthase. Basically there is nothing but the hydroxymethylbenzene is also called uropyrifrinogen 1. So therefore the enzyme name is uropyrifrinogen 1 synthase. So here let me write this too. It is HMB in short form, or uropyrinogen 1, right? Now the first enzyme here used is porphyrobilinogen deaminase. So it is an understood thing that amine group would be removing. So here minus NH3, right? The next step is conversion of a uroporphyrogen 1 into uroporphyrogen 3. So basically what we have to do is that we have to change the position, its position, right? So here the enzyme use is also easy, as it is uroporphyrogen 3 synthase. Right? So the next one is the conversion of uroporphyrogen 3 into copropyrifrinogen 3. Here the enzyme used is the uroporphyrogen decarboxylase. Uroporphyrogen decarboxylase. The function of the decarboxylase is to deduct the CO2 groups. So here the CO2 groups 4 CO2 groups are deducted, minus 4 CO2, right? Now the conversion of coproporphyrinogen into the protoporphyrinogen, right? So here the enzyme used is coproporphyrinogen oxidase, because the coproporphyrinogen after oxidation converts into the protoporphyrinogen. So here is coproporphyrinogen oxidase, right? Now the next step is conversion of protoporphyrinogen into the protoporphyrin, which is the main element to drive the heme, right? Here the protoporphyrinogen somewhere you will find it 9 and somewhere you will find it 3, but in this the protoporphyrins, like all the nomenclature, the protoporphyrinogen 9 and the 3 are the same. So the protoporphyrinogen 9 converts into the protoporphyrin, which immediately convert into the heme. So the protoporphyrinogen 9 conversion into the protoporphyrin is done by protoporphyrinogen oxidase, right? Now the last step is the conversion of protoporphyrin porphyrin into the heme, which is mediated by the ferrochatallase or catalase. It's also called heme synthetase or synthase because it's forming heme. Here, let's give a quick revision to all the enzymes. The first step was the succinyl coenzyme A conversion, the mixture of the succinyl coenzyme A and the glycine reaction gives 2 delta ALA, which convert through the ALA synthase. Then the 2 delta ALA loses its water and through the enzyme ALA dehydratase to form the porphyrobilinogen, which is a monopyrrole ring. To convert, then it converts by losing its amino group through the porphyrobilinogen deaminase and uroporphyrinogen 1 synthetase and forms hydroxymethylbiline HMB or the uroporphyrinogen 1, right? Then it converts into the uroporphyrinogen 3 with the help of the uroporphyrinogen 3 synthase enzyme. Then it converts into the coproporphyrinogen 3 through the enzyme uroporphyrinogen decarboxylase or the coproporphyrinogen 3 synthase. Here, the coproporphyrinogen 3 converts into the protoporphyrinogen by the oxidation process through the enzyme coproporphyrinogen oxidase. Then the protoporphyrinogen 9 converts into the protoporphyrin through the enzyme protoporphyrinogen oxidase, and the protoporphyrin then converts into the heme through the ferrocatalysis or the heme synthesis. One more thing I just forgot to tell you, that here in this step the one iron is added. The iron takes the central position and thus forms the heme. Now coming up, that what will happen if if one of these enzyme are absent in whole this process. So if the ALA dehydratase enzyme is absent, it causes anemia. I'll also tell you all the symptoms in these diseases. So the next one is the protoporphyrinogen deaminase and the uroporphyrinogen 1 synthase. If this enzyme is absent, then it causes acute porphyria. Right? Then the next enzyme is uroporphyrinogen 3 synthase. If this enzyme is deficient in this system, then the disease caused is congenital erythropoietic porphyria. And if the coproporphyrinogen oxidase is absent, it causes, sorry, this one is left, the uroporphyrinogen decarboxylase, if absent, it causes the porphyria cutanea teda, right? Then the next enzyme is coproporphyrinogen oxidase. If this enzyme is absent, it causes the hereditary coproporphyria. Sorry guys for my spelling mistakes, but that's so difficult to remember all these spellings. So the next one is protoporphyrogen oxidase. If this enzyme is absent, then it causes variegate porphyria, right? So here are all the enzyme deficiencies. So here I am writing deficiency. So guys, we learned about all the deficiency diseases. Now what the porphyria, the word porphyria basically represents the porphyrin or the heme synthesis. The chain is stopped somewhere because of the fault of any enzyme absent. So the porphyria is related to the heme deficiency diseases. So what happens into the heme deficiency or the porphyria diseases? The Like here I am gonna write all the things or the symptoms appearing or the effects of the porphyrias. Effect of porphyria. Right? So the first effect is neuropathy. The second thing occurs is vomiting, nausea, abdominal pain. The third thing appears is tachycardia. The next thing is skin becomes fragile. And the last thing, weakness. Obviously, if the heme is not sensitized and the blood production is not well, so the deficiency of the blood or something, the component of the blood leads to the weakness. And all like as we know that the main functions like wound repairing and etc., like all the maintenance of the body and carbon dioxide, oxygen transfer, all is done by this hemoglobin or the hemoglobin. So the heme is a part of the hemoglobin. So if it is absent, then the skin will become fragile. So here guys, we are done with our today's topic. So don't forget to like and comment and share my video, and yes, subscribe my channel. The picture of this notes will be posted on my Facebook page, whose link I will drop in the description box below. Thank you so much guys.